so embarrassing, man. So embarrassing. And yeah, and that's the way it ended up, is her on a plane ride back home, just like a good girl, back to Sweden. Okay, did you have fun, you know, playing war?
I mean, what do I say to this? We're talking about a dude who's terrified of showers. Okay? Like, we get it, man. You have no convictions whatsoever. All you care about is drifting. Like, so when you see someone who does have real convictions and abides by them and actually follows through on them, it just like breaks your brain. And you just sit around and you're like, yeah, oh, so embarrassing. Yeah. Like, she's not being cringe, okay? She's doing something brave. It's more bravery in her pinky than you will ever exhibit for the rest of your goddamn life. I like that every single person that was like, oh, if you love Gaza so much, why don't you go there and get killed by Israel, are now so angry that people are trying to literally go to Gaza. Like, they so quickly switched it up, dude. It's like that video from yesterday when Asmongold was like, yeah, it's the same energy as this, okay? The immediate motorized goalpost shift that we exhibited with the coverage that I was offering in the Los Angeles anti-ICE protests, going from, oh, he's a fake revolutionary, he's not on the streets putting his life on the line. Look,
I don't see Hasan. I heard he was out there. I don't know. I think that I saw an image of it, and I think he's on like the side up the top. So he's not actually going to go down there and stand in the in this area, because if he did, he'd get in trouble, right? Like, he has no problem LARPing as a revolutionary, but actually putting it on the line, this is going to be very different. Which, to be fair, he was. Well, if he was actually doing that, he's in trouble. Like, I mean, for sure. He was, though? Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to go and double check. He already did? Oh, I'd have to double see and see it. Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, I think all of these people should just get arrested. That's really how I see it. Yeah, I mean, I don't see how like, there's no other solution to it other than that. Aren't they impeding a highway? They are. They're impeding a highway.
They're impeding a highway. They're impeding a highway. They need to be arrested immediately. They're impeding a highway. I enjoy free speech. Like, look how quick that flip happened in real time. Okay? These people are unprincipled. They have no convictions. All they care about is grift. And in the case of Asmongold, he's not a particularly intelligent person anyway, or at least a particularly knowledgeable person about the issues that he speaks on. So it's literally more productive for you to not listen to what he has to say than to actually listen to what he has to say. It's one of those unique instances where, like, not knowing anything is better than knowing whatever the fuck he's putting out.
Okay, that's nice, sweetie. Now go back home and, you know, go back to work, or go back to, you know, doing whatever you need to do. And
this is the exact same energy as the video that I just showed you, right? Oh, why don't you go to Gaza? Oh, why don't you go to Gaza? Remember, Asmongold himself also said he would go to Gaza in an effort to, quote unquote, own me. Okay?
We don't want her back? Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure Palestine doesn't want her either.
Oh, dude. So gross.
Maybe Gaza doesn't want her. Yeah, they're like, yeah, did Gaza consent to having this woman come over here? As far as I know, they didn't. Yeah, I mean, at what point is this not terrorism on their part? Yeah. And how old is she? She's like 14? No, she's probably like, what, 21, 22 at this point? So embarrassing, man.
Yeah, so embarrassing. Definitely. What she did is embarrassing. Also, again, protest was held at Gaza's port to condemn the Israeli occupation forces' raid on the Madeleine ship and the abduction of international activists who were sailing to break the siege on Gaza. Not only that, but also the idea that this is like simply a silly stunt and not incredibly consequential is idiotic, because Israel has previously killed people that have done this. Okay? In 2010, Israel drop shipped commandos into the Mavi Marmara ship that also tried to offer humanitarian aid into the Gaza Strip. Okay? That's number one. Number two, the previous ship in the Gaza Freedom Flotilla that was supposed to sail to Gaza was shot by Israeli Air Force off the coast of Malta only a couple weeks prior. Okay? Only a couple weeks prior, before Greta and Rima Hasan and all of these other activists, humanitarian advocates, took on this journey. The ship a couple weeks prior was shot by the Israeli government off the coast of Malta, that is thousands of miles away from the Israeli coastline. So what Greta Thunberg was doing was literally putting her life on the line. It is incredibly brave. You don't have to like her I don't know, behavior in the past or whatever. It doesn't matter. Right now, what she is doing is braver than what anyone else could ever do. And I know there's a clip of Asmongold out there that where he basically talks about going to Gaza as well. I remember watching it before. Does anyone have that? Where he was like, "Yeah, I'll go to Gaza, yeah, to show how Hasan's a pussy," directly contradicting his now current statement. His fake apology? No, recently. No, Mudahar said it too, but Asmongold also said it. What's that account disinformation tracker or whatever? I think that has it. Hold on. Where is it? Let me see if I can find it. Didn't Asmon used to walk people into abortion clinics or some shit? Or was that just a lie and joke? Dude, Asmongold, XQC, Aiden Ross, all of these guys are phony, okay? They don't have real political convictions. Here, Asmongold does a little trolling for Hasan and his community about Palestine. It'd be really funny if we could
the food charities for Afghans that need blankets and stuff. It would be really funny if we could raise more money for like the relief efforts in Gaza than Hasan's community.
I would love that. I mean, I'm sorry. Really, I would hate that. Oh, I would be so mad. Please don't do it.
That would be extremely funny. I think it would be hilarious. You definitely could, maybe, right? It'd be cinema. Yeah, I look, I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna do that, but like, yeah. And then the best part, if we ever did that, he couldn't get mad, but like then I guess he'd probably try and do another one after that or something like that. I don't know. It would be really, really funny, but it's so crash out. Yeah, he couldn't, right? He'd have to be like, yeah, we totally support this, right? This is great.
Yeah, I'd be so mad. Please do it. I'd be so mad.
And so
I'd be so mad.
I think it'd be really funny if that happened.
Like this perfectly demonstrates like the extent of his political opinions, which is pure spite, pure resentment. That's it. Like what a psychopathic way to approach a humanitarian crisis of epic proportions, and the only way that you find yourself doing something right is by positioning yourself against me possibly being angry and jealous. I would not. I would love that. By the way, it's so stupid.
Israel or Palestine?
Just like, oh God, I'd be so angry if he actually went. Does Asmon live in your head rent free, little bro? Are you so stupid that you're unironically not seeing what he is saying here? This is literally talking about doing a fundraiser. I am not relevant or pertinent to this conversation at all. He's literally talking about potentially doing a fundraiser off of how much he suspects I would hate the fundraiser that he would do. When of course I wouldn't hate it. Why the f would I hate that?
Right, this is sign. There is a big part of me that if I went to Palestine and he didn't,
oh, I would love that too.
Can you imagine that? You'd most likely die though. That's like a 10% chance, maybe. Like, I don't know, probably less. And so, yeah, I feel like there's a pretty low probability that would happen. Yeah, I don't know. And
dog, you don't even leave your house, dude. What do you mean? Go to Gaza? Like, who in his audience even believes this?
I would
leave the house, dude.
I would be a little bit afraid of that, to be honest with you, though. I'll be totally.
Oh, you're a little bit afraid of that, but you know, you're saying what Greta Thunberg was doing was like ridiculous and silly. It was a silly stunt. That's the point I was trying to explain to you guys, which is that these people have no convictions. They're unserious. They're pathetically unserious people. And I'll give you a great example of Asmongold being a unserious person now, as opposed to where he stood in the past. Okay, let me see if I can find this clip, because I think, oh, here it is. Here's Asmongold 5 years in the past. Okay, apparently, Asmongold says he's against ICE protests because illegal aliens are breaking the law. A chatter asked if he would have followed Hitler's law. Wait, actually, let's start with the first clip, and then we'll move.
The mindset that these people have, right? So obey the law. When Hitler said kill all the Jews, you'd obey your master. You're comparing this to Hitler, and this is the mindset that these people have, right? I just want to read some of the comments here. Your keyboard warrior Trump's out there fighting in the streets. Yeah, I mean, I disagree with the fight. I mean, why would I go out there and support something and go protest for something that I don't even agree with? Why would I do that? And also, it's just some bricks. They have bulletproof glass windows. So do you think it would be okay to shoot a gun at them because the glass is bulletproof? Do you think it would be okay to shoot a gun at these officers since the glass is bulletproof?
These officers. Come on, read the last one. Read the last one.
You said you obey the law. Hitler's also doing the law in Germany. I think that there's a certain amount of like moral decision making with the law too, but I agree with this morality of the law. Like I don't want to confuse you. Like, no, I agree with this. I think that people in the country illegally should get deported. Like full stop. Obviously, I think that it's more efficient.
Yeah, he's saying he can't even entertain openly stating that he disagrees with Hitler's policies on the Jews, because, you know, God forbid he doesn't take the most extreme right-wing position, because the Nazis in his audience would get mad at him. And the way he's trying to navigate this is by basically saying, well, I agree with this law. I agree with this law. I don't agree with the other one.
Criminals first, definitely. But I think that they all should get deported. Like, this is my personal viewpoint. Like, the law is also this thing, but I also think this too.
Yeah. He's like, well, you know, some laws are valid to break. I just think this law, or some laws are unjust. Some laws are immoral. He won't openly say Hitler's laws are unjust and immoral, because God forbid he says that. If he does, God forbid he says that, you know, his Nazi audience is going to freak out and be like, wow, you're not as based as I thought you were. But here's Asmongold 5 years ago when he actually wasn't grifting as aggressively as he is right now. Let's take a look at what happens in 2020 when asked about his political opinions and political convictions.
I don't want to get into like the politics stuff, because the thing is that we're not going to have a conversation in good faith about this, okay? Everybody's already got their mind made up, and the people that are actually genuinely out there looking to make an opinion are probably socially adjusted well enough to where they would never watch my stream. So it would just be a waste of time.
He's not wrong. He's right. He's right. Yeah. People should not be getting their notes from Asmongold. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because a lot of people in the space that we're in that actually command the attention of giant audiences, ironically enough, actually do entertain politics in this very like aesthetics focused, vibes based way. So back in 2020, when BLM was finally popping off, and it was not only expected, like it was not only supported, but it was expected of you as a commentator or even like a regular ass TikTok influencer or a Twitch streamer to say something. Every single one of these, including XQC and even Aiden Ross, was showing support. I Shed Tears is crazy, bro. Was everyone in 2020 grifting? I watched the full video of George Floyd and I shed tears. Shit is disgusting, and the two cops need to be sentenced to prison for the rest of their lives and get what they deserve. Hashtag justice for George Floyd. Aiden Ross, 6/22, 5/28/2020. And the media and press is trying to make all black and white people go against each other. Not all people are racist. We are all equal. I don't give a f what religion or race you are. I love you for you. Heart. Stay strong, everyone. We are all in this together. And yeah, XQC's old tweets resurface. It's a shame. It even has to be stated. But of course, hashtag Black Lives Matter. We love you. Keep fighting the good fight so everyone understands. I want everyone to feel safe, respected, and have all the same opportunities to do great. Only to turn around and not realize that he actually did tweet that in 2020 and going, the replies on this really give a good insight on how much fact checking is being done on X these days. Most of the replies are saying he changed LMFAO. Literally, not a single person even verified the tweet was real, including himself. And then he goes, wait, the tweet is real. Ah, ha, 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 ha. I'm not even going to delete the main reply. That's just too good. This is a juicer, Slushy. The fact that XUC himself thought his own tweet was fake should tell you all you need to know about content creators on social media. Respect for keeping it up genuinely. It's also not about the tweet. Some creators aren't even aware they're grifting. Cough Hasan. Brother, by the way, this is a juicer. And this is how you can tell is a juicer. How do you not understand? I'm not grifting, you moron. My positions did not change. If anything, he's grifting. What do you mean? Words have no meaning. Like, respect for keeping it up genuinely. It's also not about the tweets. Some creators aren't even aware they're grifting. Cough Hasan. These guys, I think, unironically think grifting is when you just have real political convictions that are on the left, that are progressive. Okay? And the more you move away from that, the less of a grifter you are. Like, it's very shocking that these guys have somehow convinced themselves that when you're online, the more edgy you are, the more right-wing you are, the more quote-unquote based you are, the less grifting you are. That's everyone's position. And the content creators that no longer entertain like socially progressive, socially conscious attitudes and are openly right-wing and openly tailoring their commentary around a right-wing audience, they're actually not grifting. They're the honest ones. Even when you realize that this dude was unironically grifting. At what point does someone go, yeah, maybe this guy just genuinely believes this shit. Here are the yeah-based variants. What is this?
Asmon, did you eat the grass? Yeah, grazed.
Okay. I thought you were going to show me some different old tweets or something. Like, there's a reason why you can go back to like 2016, 2017 and look at my political commentary and recognize that I was saying the exact same shit back then, regardless of my financial status, you know? Slushy, I think it's really sweet that you don't know what you're talking about or what the word grifting means. You have to be aware that you're grifting to actually be grifting, dumbass. Damn, Slushy, this is a weird thing to say, not gonna lie. Bro said, it's okay to be a grifter as long as you are one. We're so cooked. This is the stupidest shit I've ever read. What the are you talking about? Do you even know what grifting means? Oh my God. Do you know what grifting means? English is not my first language. Oh, I almost looked at a tweet that was gonna be problematic. Holy shit. What a cutoff, by the way. Literally cut it off right at the point. I recognized that reply and cut it off right at the point of danger. Crazy. It's a X-ray of a dude deep throating a dick. Great save. Yeah, my mistake. What is this? I love ICE. Deport them all. When you find out IRL is different than online, I condemn, of course. What is this? Kick streamer murked off the perk, shouts pro-ICE slogans, gets punched in the face at anti-ICE protests in Austin. I love fascism. I love ICE. Deport them all. Dude, this is what happens when you're so online that you think you can do online things offline. You are not anonymous offline. You are not anonymous and in the comfort of your home when you're in public. What the are you doing?
I love fascism! I love ICE! Deport them all! Are you bending over on me on a minor? Bro, I'm a minor. Why are you bending over on a minor?
Like, are you insane? Are you insane? Listen, I of course do not condone. I condemn. Okay, I do not condone. I condemn. I condemn violence. I condemn violence. But the reality of the matter is, what the are you doing? This is the reason why people say, oh, you want to say the N-word as a white guy? Say it. And I know a lot of people who do want to say the N-word as white people get really touchy and all up in their fifis when someone presents this opportunity and they go, oh, so the only reaction you have is violence? You're really proving the point. But it's like, yeah, dude, tensions are high. You know? Why would you do this? Why would you do such a thing? I don't understand. I genuinely don't understand. Especially because, like, is this actually the real convictions that you have? Like, you legitimately are like, yeah, like this is actually what you truly believe. This is why I say, like, Asmongold and many of my naysayers would never find themselves outside behaving in the way that they do indoors from the comfort of their homes. Because most normal people would have a very negative, perhaps maybe even a violent reaction. Remember what I said about the End Wokeness account tweeting? Where I said, like, if you talk like this in public around people, they would kill you with hammers. Like, that's what I mean. Like, you would never, that isn't to say that that's what should be done. I'm not, advocating for violence or whatever. I'm simply stating that the stuff that you say online gets a lot of clout because there are a lot of other people who are insane online. But if you were to do that within the presence of other normal human beings, you would look like at least you would look like a repulsive individual that no one wants to be around. And maybe at most, you would be met with violent response. This is what I said. If you said something like this in public, you'd be put down like a dog. That's why you stick to Twitter is true. Also, something crazy is most likely happening in Iran as well. We're going to talk about that too. Where's the play stupid games, win stupid prizes guy now? He was in here all day. Where's the other? Yeah. That's the reason why a lot of these guys actually rely on the state doing the violence for them. Yeah, you say, I love fascism. I love ICE. Deport them all. At a anti-ICE rally, someone is going to retaliate. You know? When someone has to fight off Asmongold, an inevitable culture war, it's just normal water. Posts like these are why people are repulsed by extremists. Go outside and get some sunshine, Lamau. What do you mean, extremists? This is a joke, dude. There is no real culture war. It's not even a race war. So stupid. Again, edgy joke when you make a joke about one of the edgy joke understanding. Okay? Immediately, they hit the soy notes. Oh, why would you say that? Yeah. Oh, Greta has been such a performative stunt. There's been 5 flotillas before the Madeleine. Israel used force against 4. 2010, 10 killed. 2011, no incidents. 2015, crew detained for 6 days. 2018, crew tasered. 2025, drone shot at the ship. Think about why you didn't know this. And this guy thinks it's the other wrong. The drones did not fire at the ship. It was marked with a signal paint. And the peaceful activists of Myanmar had weapons on board. No, they didn't. And secondly, he wasn't even talking about the Freedom Flotilla that actually got intercepted. He was talking about the one that came before the Madeleine that was actually shot at with drones off the coast of Malta. So many people don't know a lot of information on this and basically use their lack of knowledge as a point of conviction. They literally, they don't know the truth. So they're like, sorry, I don't know this information. This information is not known to me. So guess what? Sucks to suck. Here was Greta Thunberg's response after being released.
To reporters. Let's take a listen to
from
what she has to say.
and being deported from Israel.
Yeah, on international waters, we were illegally attacked and kidnapped by Israel and taken against our will to Israel, where we were detained, and then some of us deported. Some are still there. There are very big uncertainties because it was quite chaotic and uncertain. So I don't really know what's going on. I haven't had a phone for many days, and
What were the conditions for you over the last few hours?
They were absolutely nothing compared to what people are going through in Palestine, especially Gaza right now. And this is yet another international a violation of international rights adding to the list of countless of such, especially towards Palestinians, that Israel are committing by blocking and preventing humanitarian aid from entering Gaza. That is illegal.
How did the Israelis treat you? We saw them giving out sandwiches on their social media. How did
Yeah, they probably have posted lots of PR stunt videos. As I said, I have not seen anything. But they did an illegal act by kidnapping us on international waters and against our will, bringing us to Israel, keeping us in the bottom of the boat, not letting us getting out and so on. But that is not the real story here. The real story is that there is a genocide going on in Gaza and a systematic starvation following the siege and blockade now, which is leading to food, medicine, water that are desperately needed to get into Gaza is prevented from doing so. But of course, there are many attempts like this mission, both by sea and land, to break that siege and open up a humanitarian corridor.
Could I ask you, did you said you had no contact at all with any of your other colleagues from the boat when you were detained? Is that what you said?
No, that's not what I said. I was just mainly speaking. I don't really know what's going on because
you don't know what's going on with the others.
Are you worried
no,
about?
I wasn't able to say goodbye.
Are you worried about the others, that they might be detained for
Yeah, I'm very worried about them. We heard many different messages pointing towards that they would not make it easy. And there were troubles with being able to see lawyers. So I'm very much calling for their immediate release and calling for everyone who can to mobilize to their governments and other ways to demand their immediate release. And of course to demand not only humanitarian aid being let into Gaza, but also a ceasefire, but most importantly an end to the occupation and an end to the systemic oppression and violence that Palestinians are facing on an everyday basis.
Are you disappointed?
I think it's insane the reaction that Greta creates amongst people who are like not fully on board with the Palestinian emancipatory movement, but simply are like aesthetically defending it, or are fully on board with defending Israel. Like the way that people talk about her is so, it's like alarming. Okay. Yeah. Okay. She was cringe when she was a baby. Okay. Sure. Who gives a like, I don't understand why people have this kind of insane response. I don't know what it is. It's like a visceral reaction to a child, okay? She was propped up by a lot of liberal institutions when she was an advocate for environmental justice, for climate justice, okay? And I think that calcified resentment towards her by a lot of people, because these guys never stopped talking about her in really gross ways, like fantasizing about her being like violently raped or killed or whatever when she was like 16. Okay, she was like 16 speaking at these conferences, and people would lose their minds. Like I remember vividly, Steven Crowder and all these other like conservative commentary people like would make insane rape threats and stuff like that against her. And then she came out as being anti-capitalist a couple of years ago, and the media basically, like liberal institutions, basically stopped covering her altogether or even defending her a little bit when they no longer could use her as an advocate for climate justice, but from a liberal framework. And now that she is also openly anti-imperialist, openly anti-Israel, openly pro-Palestinian, pro-Palestine at the age of 22, all of the interest groups and virtually everyone, just like there's so much resentment towards her, even when she does something that's incredibly brave, right? The thing that's so deeply admirable about Greta Thunberg is that she possesses this remarkable ability to make people 3 times her age psychotically, violently mad. And it's largely because of an unwavering commitment to saving this planet and the people on it. Spotted Greta Thunberg on an El Al flight home. Enjoy the service and please do come back. Holy 300,000 likes on this. Jesus Christ. Like watching Piers Morgan frothing at the mouth, insulting this 22-year-old is an amazing spectacle that lays bare how deeply unstable her adversaries are mentally and morally. You rarely see a 22-year-old driving people into an anger-fueled frenzy like this, only because she was a part of a humanitarian effort to deliver aid to a starving population. Greta Thunberg should thank Israel for intercepting her Gaza selfie ship. Greta Thunberg's pathetic Gaza voyage. Piers Morgan, who now claims to be pro-Palestine, also had some words to say. What is this?